Hey there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the ZymCast. My name is Chase Matherly.
I'm Kyle Grubb.
And as always, we are joined by our producer, Cheyenne.
Hello.
Again, we join her.
Yes, we join her. But what's up, Kyle? How have you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. Just kind of a crazy week, but nothing I can really do about that. I got Captian Marvel coming out, so that keeps me busy.
Oh, yes. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I bet we will.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
We will.
Stop spoiling things.
Ooh, speaking of spoilers. Just kidding, no spoilers here.
I don't believe you.
No, I don't want to spoil it because Cheyenne hasn't seen it yet.
Ah, damn you. Damn you, Cheyenne.
Well, actually, she doesn't care about spoilers, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it comes.
If you're worried about spoiling the movie we're about to talk about, that is kind of hilarious because the thing you're afraid of spoiling has been a part of this movie all 4 times it's been made.
Oh, I was talking about the other one, but this movie is something else that I saw this week besides Captain Marvel. Star is Born.
Star is Born.
That movie, man.
Directed by Bradley Cooper for his first time ever directing a movie, starring Lady Gaga.
Correct.
Not her first time acting, but people like to seem like it is.
That movie.
Because it's so damn good.
I hate that movie and I love that movie. I hate it because it made me cry. Mm-hmm. And I love it because it made me cry.
I cried in a theater, so at least, yours was like...
Oh, I cried in the theater too.
Wait, you saw it in... Oh, yeah, it's in theaters right now.
Yeah.
To be fair, you cry at a lot of movies.
No, not as hard as I cried in this one. This one had me bawling.
This one's pretty rough.
Do you remember Coco?
Okay, I cried a little bit in Coco.
No. You cried a lot in Coco, honey.
All right, yeah, okay, I'm a crier. You want to say that?
I wish I could have seen that.
It was great.
I think I cried every time I saw Coco, I'm pretty sure.
Every time?
Yeah, I saw like 3 times.
Okay.
Yep. Well, my Nana also cried, and that's kind of the reason I cried. It was like, oh, that's my abuela.
Okay, yeah. So about Star is Born. The first time I saw the movie, I did not cry. I kept it together like a man. But I took my mom to see it.
Toxic masculinity.
Exactly. But the second time I saw it, I took my mom, and she started crying. And yeah, no, I am super. I'm sympathetic crier. Once other people start crying, I start crying. There's nothing I can do about it.
Almost an empathy cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie is like, it's Bradley Cooper's first, it's a directorial debut, right?
Yeah.
So good.
I know.
Like, how did he not even get nominated as best director for that movie?
I know.
Honestly, it's a steal.
I think so too. It was probably my favorite movie from last year in terms of just like, I mean, it wasn't like the most enjoyable movie I saw. Like that would probably go to like Avengers.
I wouldn't say it was an enjoyable movie to watch, but it was a good movie to watch.
But it was probably my favorite movie in regards of like actual like quality and not just like, wow, this is an awesome superhero adventure full of characters I know that are just getting dusted.
Yeah, it did 214 million.
Yeah, it did well.
It's actually still in box office right now as an encore, so that number still might be going up. I don't know if they technically count that encore.
They do.
Yeah. So,
box office, it doesn't matter how long or like, because like if you re-release a movie in theaters, it'll still count towards its box office.
Because the weird thing is that I don't know if it's longer than the original because it's even billed, like it's titled Star is Born Encore. Like it's not just Star is Born, it's advertised as Encore.
I guarantee you though, it still is going to count to their box office total.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't know what's necessarily different about it.
It's back.
Because it's like almost 2 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, actually, I think it is longer because the runtime here says 2 hours and 16 minutes, but it was about 15 to 30 minutes longer than that.
Almost like there were trailers in front of it?
No. Like the actual runtime of the...
That's a lot. No, I feel like if there were that much content added to this movie, that would have been advertised a lot more. That's like a humongous amount of cut content. I feel like you're just talking out of your booty hole. He's not going to find any relevant information that there's more content in here.
Star is Born Encore Edition. Not less, but not more either. That's a Variety article.
Okay.
But what is different?
I guess there might actually be more content here.
Yeah, there are added scenes to the Encore Edition.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I stand corrected.
It's 12 minutes of added scenes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now I want to see it again. And cry like a little baby again.
Yeah, the performances in that movie. Would you agree that it is criminal that Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper are not together? That's
he's married.
I know it's one of the arguments though. It's like
I feel like it's really messed up.
Yeah, like I know people are making that argument and stuff, and they did have amazing chemistry with each other, and like it seems like they get along very well in real life, but. I'm not the kind of person to like ship people like that. I rarely do that. I usually only do that with completely fictional characters for some reason.
Right. And actually, I don't think they're married. They're
Together.
Either way, it's messed up.
Also, I know that like Lady Gaga was engaged for the longest time, and then she broke off her engagement recently. Was it Bradley?
Oh, was it? I don't know.
No. Oh my God, I hate that kind of tabloid stuff. It's so dumb. Like, who cares? These are real people trying to live their lives. Yeah, they live it on like a grand stage that we all can kind of see. But it always kind of pisses me off that like people get so into celebrities' lives.
Right. Well, let me say that Lady Gaga is an angel.
Okay.
Like her voice, I swear to God, she can do anything.
Yeah.
Like, you go, Gaga. If you're listening to this, which you're not, by like 100% you are not listening to this, but you go.
You go, Glenn Coco.
You go, Glenn Gaga. But yeah, like her album with Tony Bennett, oh my God, Cheek to Cheek, I love that album. I loved all those songs originally, but then when they redid it, I'm like, this is gold.
I love gold.
No. We did just record an episode of a series that we're trying to put together, Apocrypha, about
alchemy.
Well, I mean, the first episode was about alchemy, and that was gold member.
You said about, and I said alchemy.
Yeah,
because it was about alchemy.
Yeah, but that was a little.
It was trash.
Wow! It was a good first attempt, Cheyenne.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Thanks, producer.
Wow. See, this is what we deal with. Just like this constant stream of negativity coming from the other side of the computer.
Yep.
I mean, it's my job. Criticize until everything is good.
That's one way to look at it,
I guess. You could build me up and not tear me down. All right. But yeah, Stars Born did very well. Very good movie. Criminally didn't win very many awards at the Oscars.
No.
Green Book, good movie. Nowhere near as good as A Star is Born, in my opinion.
You saw both?
I did.
Okay. Then you come from a learned background.
Oh my God. If that's all it takes to have a learned background right now, then I'm a freaking like Rhodes Scholar.
On the topics, right? Because people will be like, oh, like how the hell did Green Book win, Stars Born didn't? And people like haven't even seen Green Book. Well, make that assumption.
Okay, so annoyingly, I don't remember all the exact details. I did a little research on this a couple months ago. I don't claim to know perfectly, but honestly, the way that Best Picture is decided is very unusual. And so it's not like, oh, everyone votes and then whichever gets the most votes wins. That would make sense. That's not how they do it.
Right. Oh, so kind of like the presidential election.
No, it's actually much weirder than that because the presidential election, as weird as it is, makes sense.
I mean, in a way.
Like, do I think we need... Okay, this is a totally random topic here, and we probably shouldn't get into politics on this one thing, but like, does the electoral college system like need to exist anymore? Probably not.
Probably not.
But like, it did used to need to exist, and nobody's gone around bothering to change it because enough presidents...
Sounds like a lot of things in our government.
Damn right.
Sorry, go ahead on your point.
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
Oh, great. That's fun.
Electoral colleges. There we go.
No.
Oh, yeah. So the voting for the Oscars, apparently it's something like, because they want whatever winner has like a majority of the votes. So it's something like once all the votes are tallied and counted, they essentially, like, if there is no majority, if one movie doesn't have more than 50% of the vote, which basically never happens.
Yeah.
They like drop the lowest movie and take all of its votes and put it into another film, like the second place or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, it's really weird. So, but basically through the process, it's kind of interpreted and said by some people who like understand it way better than I do, that you aren't trying to be the most liked movie, you're trying to be the least disliked movie, and that gives you the best chance of winning. Okay. So like Green Book is a good movie. Like, don't get me wrong, historical accuracy besides, as a movie, it's good. And I enjoyed it quite a bit, but it's basically like, I know there were like a little bit of controversy to it, but it's generally inoffensive, which is kind of a weird stance to be on when a movie about racism. Like, right. Those movies kind of should be a little offensive. It's kind of not. Everybody liked Green Book that saw it, essentially, from what I've gathered. I don't know anybody that saw that movie and was like, it wasn't good. But it was like, I never heard anybody go like, that was my favorite movie of the year. It was like the least disliked movie on the, of choices. Let's be honest though, out of the, 7 contenders, that was what I thought was going to win, just strictly based on like how I know the Academy votes. Mm-hmm. I knew Black Panther wasn't going to win. It was like, look, we put it there for you. What more do you want from us? Oh, yeah. Since they like couldn't get the, the best popular film category in or whatever. Then there was like Roma, which was very good, but was never going to win. It was a foreign language film.
Right. Foreign language films. Like, when's the last time a foreign language film won?
Won Best Picture?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ever?
I mean, it's probably happened at least once, but I don't know.
I'm sure everything's happened at least once.
Not true. I can't think of anything because it's obviously never happened before, but I guarantee things have happened never.
No, I know. I mean, in some dimension.
Oh, wow.
We're talking about like
we've gone way off topic here.
string theory and stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I have nothing to say. We're just kind of rambling. Let's get to your topic.
Well, I mean, if we want to talk about Captain Marvel, I would probably want to save that till the end, just in case like we can talk about non-spoiler stuff. And then
that's a good
spoiler
point.
stuff at the very end, and we can let everyone know when we're going to start doing spoilers.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
I can just hop off.
Okay, so then we'll jump into my topic.
Yeah.
So I recently, because I love video games, I think anybody who heard my first heard the first episode of this can infer based on my humongously random rant about Kingdom Hearts that I like video games. This last Friday, Devil May Cry 5 came out, and what?
Long-awaited game.
Yeah, I'd say so. Devil May Cry 4 was like an Xbox 360 and PS3 game. Came out like 11 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. That game was also kind of a mess in its own right. It was clearly unfinished. They just kind of like rushed it out because Capcom didn't give a crap back then, to be honest. They were not in their proudest moments. There was the reboot made by Ninja Theory, like right in the middle of that, but that was, let's just say mixed appreciation for that film. A lot of diehard fans hate film.
Yeah, like film.
There was a mixed appreciation to that game, let's just say. Like that's, I think, being generous. A lot of the diehard fans did not appreciate that game at all. I liked it. It was fun. I'm not like religiously in love with the Devil May Cry series, so I thought the gameplay was fun. The story was kind of whatever, but it was what it was. People get weirdly emotionally attached to things that don't matter that much. But Devil May Cry 5, the long-awaited sequel to Devil May Cry 4, and it is, I gotta say, a blast. That game was fantastic. Just good old-fashioned hack and slash character action gameplay with actually a pretty decently good story. It's kind of nonsense, but so are all of them.
Never really played a Devil May Cry game, but I've seen a lot of gameplay.
They're fun, and their stories are completely silly, but if you just like lean into it, they're a ton of fun. Honestly, like this game works, like without really spoiling anything, the game works well as like the end of an era. It feels like an ending. It doesn't need to end the franchise, but like it totally works as an ending if they never make another one, which I feel like is their goal, and that's exactly where they wanted to land, and now they have. But after playing the game, it got me thinking about like all the times that franchises have like long awaited or like long dormant sequels that finally come out.
Right. Video
games, movies, books, anything. I mean, anybody waiting for the next Song of Ice and Fire book knows what we're talking about here.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's become a trend. I mean, it's always kind of been a thing, but it's definitely become a thing more recently in like the last 10 or 15 years. Because they've run out of ideas and everything old is new again.
And it's possible also that these things just work in terms of making money. It's like, oh, let's revisit that people loved so far, like so long ago. If we, put something out and we can make more money off of it, and it kind of other people see this like, oh, wait, that just happened. That made money. Like we'll do something that we forgot about a long time ago. Yeah.
I mean, there were a bunch of different topics and examples of this. I mean, like from things that weren't like super far removed, like say like, how they rebooted Tomb Raider again, basically, versus the
much better version, I would say.
I never saw the new one, but it looked better.
You haven't played the new Tomb Raider?
I wasn't actually talking about the games. I was talking about the movie.
Oh,
I realized that when I started talking. I meant to say films. I couldn't remember Angelina Jolie's name.
Well, I mean, okay,
but the games and the movies are a perfect example.
With respect to the movies, with the multiple.
There's only one movie right now. Alicia Vikander. It was last year.
No, the Angelina Jolie one.
Oh, there were two.
Okay, so yeah, those came out a while ago, and then now that the movie's released, the remake, reimagining it even. And then same thing with the games, around the same like.
Yeah, I mean the Tomb Raider franchise, in terms of video games, it kind of like run its course. There was nowhere to go. No one had any idea where to take it.
Yeah,
and so they just took it back.
And I will say, like I said, this reimagining is much better in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. I haven't played Shadow or Rise of the Tomb Raider, but I played the original Tomb Raider remake, 2013. That game is great. Definitely, though, a little fetishist with killing her in horribly gruesome ways.
Didn't we talk about this before?
We did. I just realized that too. How do we always end up here?
I don't know.
I think the fact remains, we definitely have franchises that are long dormant that keep coming back. I keep hearing rumors of like an Austin Powers 4.
That's what I just looking at right now. Literally Austin
we are
Powers
1 month.
4.
We've been making stupid Austin Powers joke like all day.
Yeah. Yeah, because the last Austin Powers gold member with say Cleopatra Beyonce Knowles.
Yes. As opposed to Beyonce Smith.
Yeah, sure. It came out in 2002.
Wait. Okay. No. Seriously?
Yeah.
It was 2002.
Yeah.
I remember watching that movie in theaters. You were what, like 4?
Yeah.
I was 11.
Oh my God.
I mean, should my mother have let me see that movie as 11? I don't know.
My father also let me see those movies. Actually, younger than 11, I think. I was like, those are one of the first things I remember.
That explains so much, like so much.
Yeah, playing Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, and like Austin Powers.
I literally finally understand you for the first time in our friendship.
I mean, my dad was a cool dad.
Ah, yes, cool dad, code for irresponsible father.
Yeah, if they were to revisit Austin Powers, I mean, Mike Myers is so much older now, but
yes, he is. But he doesn't do anything anymore.
Shrek. Oh, they're gonna make another Shrek too?
Yeah, but they are. But I think it's like a reboot. They're recasting everybody.
What? How can you have Shrek without Mike Myers? I am livid right now. After
Hi, livid. I'm Kyle.
Hi, Dad.
What? I'm so lost. I'm cool?
Cool, Dad.
Okay,
cool, Dad,
there we
Kyle.
go. Oh God, I'm not ready to be a father. No child should have to suffer me as their father yet.
You already have the jokes on lock.
That is the only way I'm going to be a great dad. I'm going to be the best dad joke dad ever made, and that is it.
Back to the topic, maybe?
There is no topic. There is only Zool.
Oh, but Mike Myers did recently make 2 movies.
No, he didn't.
Love Guru?
He was in Terminal last year and Bohemian Rhapsody.
He was in Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, he was the producer.
I didn't watch
He was
it.
Ray Foster.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
No, I guarantee it was stunt cast because he does have a moment. He's like, Bohemian Rhapsody is not the kind of song that kids will be like rocking out to in their cars. Because, Wayne's World and that classic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was him?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes. Mike Myers never does anything without like heavy makeups and prosthetics nowadays. I think he was like the host of like the Gong Show for like the whole first season. And
He still is the host.
Oh, see.
It says 2017 to present, so.
Yeah, so but he's like heavily in makeup and stuff, and they kept trying to pretend it wasn't him.
Yeah, okay, the Love Guru was 2008. I'm like 10 years behind. 11 years behind.
Yes.
And that was 14 on the Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that movie is bad.
I love that movie. It's so funny.
The movie is terrible.
It's so funny.
Oh,
stupid.
Chase.
I was thinking about it in the shower yesterday.
I don't need to know what you think about in the shower.
I don't know why I was thinking of it, but I mean, wait, there's going to be no mini-me though.
And now you made us sad. Thanks.
Oh.
Thanks for bringing the sad. Jerk. But no, I was trying to do a nice little segue. So another franchise getting a long-awaited new sequel as opposed to just its reboot, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 3 is in production right now.
Like
with the original cast.
Original Ghostbusters.
Well, with the surviving
like
original
Dan
cast.
Aykroyd. Like,
is Dan Aykroyd the only Ghostbuster you know?
No, the dude from Zombieland, Bill Murray.
Oh my God.
No, I only mentioned Zombieland because he played himself in Zombieland. So
No, that's not what I mean. It's just like you just yes, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd.
I was gonna say Dan Aykroyd, double terminated. Terminator Quartz Aykroyd.
I hate you.
Google that if you don't know what we're talking about.
Why would anyone care about Googling Herkimer Diamonds?
Herkimer Diamond.
You're the worst. But yeah, so the surviving members of the cast are apparently coming back to do Ghostbusters 3. Sadly, without Harold Ramis.
All done.
That's how it goes. Because if there's no Mini-Me, there must also be no Egon Spengler. But another franchise that had a very, very long-awaited sequel, Tron.
Like Tron Legacy Tron?
Well, I mean, that would be the sequel, yes. The original Tron and Tron Legacy, I think there was like 26 years between those movies.
Oh.
Yeah, Tron Legacy was basically made by people who grew up watching Tron, wanting to make a sequel to it.
I mean, I knew... I thought you meant it was still in production, like for a sequel to Tron Legacy or a sequel to the original. Was Tron Legacy a sequel to the original Tron?
Yes.
I never saw the original Tron.
I mean, it's an old movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like groundbreaking for its day, but that movie is antiquated now.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, Tron Legacy is a direct sequel to Tron.
I mean, I don't know what came first. My
The
knowledge
chicken or the egg?
my knowledge of Tron from Kingdom Hearts 2 or the movie Tron Legacy.
I hate you.
Wait, no.
Tron Legacy came out
After?
Oh, Tron Legacy definitely came out after
I feel like it did,
Kingdom
yeah.
Hearts 2.
Okay, so yeah.
But it was it definitely came out before Dream Drop Distance, which had Tron Legacy as one of its worlds.
Interesting.
Not really.
We're going back on fucking Kingdom Hearts.
No, we're not
Steamroll over that. Steamroll over that.
We're not dipping our toe back in that water. Yeah. So, I mean, they've been talking about trying to make a sequel to Tron Legacy for a long time, and it's never going to happen. Okay, maybe it'll happen in another 26 years. Yeah. But I mean,
when Tron Legacy is antiquated.
Yeah, I really liked Tron Legacy, and I feel like a lot of people didn't, and I am very much in the minority there.
I did because of Daft Punk.
That's the only reason you like that movie?
No, that was
a strong reason.
A strong reason I like the movie.
Okay.
D-Rez, ooh, good track.
I mean, to be fair,
the club scene was great.
That soundtrack is amazing.
Yes, I have that soundtrack.
I don't think anybody doubts that soundtrack is amazing.
On CD, when people still bought music on CDs.
Even if that's not your kind of music, that's just like an impressive soundtrack for a film, and it perfectly matches the film it is.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, I just really enjoyed that movie. I don't know. I'm easy to please. I am not a super tough critic when it comes to entertainment. Like, I want to be entertained. That's what entertainment is for. If I'm letting myself be entertained, and if a movie entertains me, it did its job.
Wow, it was 6 years between Paul Blart and Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Oh my God, what a long-awaited sequel.
I don't know why it popped in my head. Sorry, continue.
No. So, let's talk about Captain Marvel.
Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, Captain Marvel is
who doesn't know?
A Marvel comic, and is this penultimate film in
Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Correct. Words don't come out my mouth good.
Good thing what we're doing right now doesn't involve you having words come out of your mouth.
What's a mouth?
I have no mouth, and I'm a scream.
So Captain Marvel, basically, if anyone has seen Infinity War, or actually I should say if anyone hasn't seen Infinity War, because everyone has seen Infinity War.
It certainly feels like it.
I would hope so. Just because, like, this Marvel train coming through is like a generational thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like really big right now.
What? I don't think anybody's noticed how big the freaking MCU is.
MC who?
The MCU.
Yeah. It features basically the character that is supposed to, or has been set up to basically save the day.
In Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, in Endgame. In a sense, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they keep saying, and they keep going on and on how like Captain Marvel is like the strongest hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. They've had like I've heard so many interviews saying that like she's the strongest. And we'll go into that later once we get to probably the end of that movie. But people thinking of Infinity War, where all these heroes. Well, I mean, yeah, we're gonna spoil Infinity War because it is a year.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like a year-old movie. If you haven't seen it, you're not going to.
Like half of our heroes are dusted.
Well, I mean, to be fair, half of everything and everyone is dusted.
Oh yeah, but we're focusing on mainly our heroes, right?
Wow.
That's what we care about. We don't care about the rest of the world.
What a freaking egocentric way to look at
this. Did it snap?
Yes.
It affected the whole universe, right?
Yes. It affected the entire universe, half of all living life, too. Animals, plants, like everything.
Yeah, it affected them on Titan.
Yes. It wasn't just like, oh, I hate Earth. It was all life in the universe was halved.
Yeah.
Which again leads to my question: was Thanos at risk of turning to dust?
I think so.
I
think he lived with that. Like,
I guarantee, as crazy as that freaking Titan is, I guarantee he would have been totally fine.
I mean, he had some good ideas, right?
Oh my God, we're not getting on this.
Okay, but fuck, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. Talking about Captain Marvel saving the day. Half of all heroes getting dusted.
Oh yeah, half of all heroes got dusted, right? So we were left with unanswered questions about Hawkeye and Ant-Man, right?
They're alive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it was shown they were alive. And if you've seen the latest, I think it was the latest trailer for Endgame, they straight up spoil all of Infinity War in the first, like in the opening of the trailer. They're like, oh, Thanos succeeded. He fucking dusted half of life in the universe.
It's physically impossible to not spoil Infinity War when trying to have a trailer for Endgame, which is basically just part 2.
Yeah, and they're like, but then Disney, I think.
That's why they waited so long.
Marvel Studios is. Well, I guess that would make sense as to why they waited so long to put a trailer out. But also, they don't give a fuck about anyone that hasn't seen. Like, how haven't you seen this stuff? Like, they don't give a fuck about spoilers at this point.
Yeah, they're just like
they expect you to have seen this.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're gonna watch Endgame, you're gonna watch Infinity War.
Yeah, seeing in Captain Marvel, a lot of the like some things are alluded to, and it's like they don't care about people that haven't seen the rest of the movies. They're like, because as standalone, I'm trying to think of it. There's a lot of things that you'd be lost on.
I don't necessarily think so. I think the movie does a decent job as a standalone story. I mean, we're at the point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we're like, yeah, even the standalone stories heavily allude to other tales.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think you'd be completely lost if this was your first MCU.
Some characters that were shown to be like, who the fuck is that guy? What do I care?
Or, yeah. I mean, yeah, but I don't think they dwell on him long enough. Like, I mean, Ronan... It doesn't matter if you don't know who he is. He's just a character in the movie. If you don't have context from Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Coulson, that's just fun if you know Coulson. But like
obviously,
he's just...
Fury. Yeah,
obviously Fury. But I mean, the movie introduces Fury on its own. So it doesn't matter if you don't know who that person is.
Yeah. But in terms of how it's doing, Captain Marvel is currently sitting at the 7th highest opening in the MCU.
Yep.
Of all the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's at 153 million. It's projected to do a little bit more than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just the estimate right now. We are recording this on a Sunday. We won't have our final Sunday numbers until Monday morning.
Yeah. And like I said, number 7 in terms of opening, right behind Iron Man 3, which I never actually saw.
You never saw Iron Man 3?
No. I just realized that.
I mean, that is a divisive movie, but I love it.
Yeah?
Yes. I mean, there's the twist in that movie that some people just despise. Do you seriously not know about that twist?
I might know about the twist. I just don't know what the movie's about.
Like the thing about the Mandarin? Oh my God.
The Mandarin Orange?
Oh my God.
The Mandalorian? Boba Fett?
Oh my God, you're the
Boba Fett. Oh my God, it's Boba Fett in the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would lose.
So sorry to spoil that for you. Yeah, he shows up in Iron Man 3.
My shit.
In the final battle.
So dope.
The final battle is just Tony Stark versus Boba Fett, and Boba Fett kind of gets like lightly hit on the back and falls into a Sarlacc pit at the end.
See, I always root for Boba Fett, my favorite character in Star Wars.
That is bullshit.
True.
Bullshit. Okay, look, no one's favorite character in Star Wars is actually Boba Fett. He does nothing.
He's cool.
He accomplishes nothing.
He's a man of few words.
Thank you.
He says a few words in the second movie. The most defining thing about Boba Fett is a line that Darth Vader has in passing. And Boba Fett, other than that, is just a dude in cool armor who literally gets beat up by a blind man and dies.
So what's this about the Mandarin?
Do you really want me to spoil Iron Man 3 for you?
Yeah, I mean, I want to know everything I will know.
We have gone way off topic here. Fine. Iron Man 3. There's a point in that movie where, because like the Mandarin is like the big bad, and he's played by Ben Kingsley, and he's like this big imposing terrorist.
Oh, Ben Kingsley.
Yeah. He's like this big imposing terrorist that they need to fight. And eventually, Tony, about halfway through the movie, makes his way into the Mandarin's compound and confronts him. And you find out that the Mandarin, Ben Kingsley, is actually a man named Trevor Slattery. He's just an actor. He's getting paid in drugs by this evil organization, and he's just like a total fucking doofus.
Is this Hydra?
No.
Oh, I said it
was AIM. I know it doesn't mean anything to you.
You mean like the
no, messenger? Not AOL Instant Messenger, but no, like AIM.
Is that what AIM stands for? AOL Instant Messenger?
Did you not know that?
Holy shit! My life is a lie.
Oh my God.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're too young to know that, really.
And I knew that.
I used AIM like once. I had no friends.
Yeah, so like the big twist is that he wasn't even the real villain, and there was just Guy Pearce was the real villain. He was like behind the scenes and doing stuff. Pete, are you looking up Guy Pearce?
I need his face. Oh, okay.
You see, this is why you can't just watch the highlights of all the Marvel movies. You have to actually watch the movies, Chase.
Okay, calling me out.
Yeah, I'm totally calling you out. You're talking about like one movie. You haven't watched all of them. Bah. Like when we get to, because I'm sure eventually you guys are going to discuss Avengers Endgame. Yeah, you need to have watched all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
How many have you seen versus not seen?
Probably I've seen 25%.
I forgot how little of these movies you've seen. Okay, which ones have you seen?
I can break it down right now. I have seen Ant-Man.
Okay.
I feel like I might have seen The Incredible Hulk.
That's fine. It's skippable.
Yeah. That's not
I've seen Ant-Man. I've seen Doctor Strange. I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy. Iron Man. Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Iron Man 2, Guardians 2, Captain Marvel, Civil War, Black Panther, and Infinity War.
Okay, that's like at least half.
That's better. But
you still haven't seen the original Avengers?
No.
Oh, that movie's so much fun.
Yeah.
And infinitely nowhere near as good on rewatch.
I have not seen the Captain America, the first Avenger.
I love that movie.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Thor Dark World. No, actually, I did see Thor Dark World.
You poor son of a bitch.
Winter Soldier.
You didn't see Winter Soldier?
Iron Man 3 or Age of Ultron? Or the Avengers.
Winter Soldier is, I'd say beat for beat, probably the best movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, the Winter Soldier made me, because I hated Captain America. And then Winter Soldier, I'm like, you know what, Captain America? You're okay. You're okay. I accept you now.
Yeah,
I still don't like you that much, but like, you're cool.
Yeah, no, that was the movie that I think really because Captain America, he was in the first Avenger. He was fine. I think he was the best part of the movie. Chris Evans' performance. She disagrees, but
I like Iron Man.
I said the best part of his movie.
Oh, okay.
Like that movie has a lot of problems, but I don't think Chris Evans' performance is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like he holds the movie together. Like him and a couple good performances in that movie hold together what is kind of a all over the place script. In Avengers, he's likable enough, but he's really overshadowed and he doesn't really do much. And then boom, freaking out of nowhere, the Russo brothers, a couple of like TV comedy writers, and also like the directors of You, Me, and Dupree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like their hit film You, Me, and Dupree. And then they go out of nowhere and they're like, we're hiring these two brothers who direct TV comedies, and we're gonna have them direct a like spy espionage thriller set in the MCU.
Yeah,
that sounded like a freaking mess. And then that movie came out and it was freaking mind blowing, man.
Interesting.
You need to watch that.
You really do. Honestly, I think you'd really like that movie. It's damn good. Some of its twists are kind of spoiled just by the future of like other movies in the franchise.
Right.
But it's damn good. Like, I mean, you know who the Winter Soldier is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Bucky.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the movie plays it to where, I mean, obviously comic book fans know that Bucky's the Winter Soldier. But like the movie plays it as like, it keeps it a secret as long as it can.
And it's actually like the way it's written is really good. Because usually you can guess pretty early in a movie just because you know movie format. But that one, it's like you have to kind of, you go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, like up to that point in the movie, you get exactly one flashback scene featuring Bucky. And it seems like it's serving an entirely different purpose than just like warning an audience member that like, no, this guy's important. That movie's damn good. It's just also like it works pretty well. It's just like an espionage thriller, like a spy thriller in addition.
I'll go over all of these and watch them, I guess.
Yeah, you need to. Most of the movies are good. Like I don't think there's a single bad Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Is like this is just a poorly made mess. There's just like forgettable movies like Thor 2 and arguably Thor 1. Some people would say the first Captain America, Incredible Hulk. Oh, a lot of the early ones.
Yeah.
They didn't have their crap together yet, you know?
I mean, basically, when we're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Phase 1 is generally pretty forgettable. Basically, its only standouts are the original Iron Man, which I think is still one of the best movies in the MCU.
Iron Man 2
I love Iron Man.
I'm saying Iron Man 2 out of those series. Well, actually, I've only seen 2 of them, but Iron Man 2 is really good. I like it.
That's an opinion.
I've seen it so many times. So many times.
That's also offensive to me in my soul. That like you haven't seen a lot of these really great movies, but you've seen Iron Man 2 a lot.
Why Iron Man 2?
Because they played in the break room at work a lot. When I used to work.
That's true.
At that place. Yeah.
That place.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So let's get back on freaking topic to Captain.
We ranted for 15 minutes.
That's okay.
I'm okay with that.
But Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
What was the last thing I said about Captain Marvel? You remember?
She's strong.
She's the strongest in the world.
Oh yeah, she was set up to be the strongest person, right?
Yep, coming in, save the day.
Yeah, like I said, like Ant-Man, Hawkeye, they're off to the side, and in the trailer it was shown that they're going to be there. This is obviously Captain Marvel's film. A lot of Nick Fury.
Yes,
a lot of Nick Fury.
Yeah, I mean he's basically like. I mean, okay, so the movie is very, very clearly broken up into 3 acts, I'd say. And they're very easy to figure out. There's the opening act where Carol, Captain Marvel, is just a like Veers, just this soldier working for the Kree Empire as like part of an elite task force.
Are we getting into spoilers right now? If you
How is this spoilers? This is the opening of the movie.
No, you're delineating the acts. So
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
It's just like I'm not going to literally just break down beat for beat what happens in this movie. I'm just saying like there's the opening where she's like part of the alien task, like the Kree task force working under Jan Krieg, played by
how do you remember any of these names? I got something about this movie is like there's so many names. Like I know some of them, but can't remember all of them.
But yeah, played by Jude Law.
Yeah.
My mother's least favorite actor.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is. She just hates him. She doesn't know what it is either. She just hates him. And then there is a key point where she gets basically stuck on Earth.
Mm.
That is officially where the second act begins. And it basically transfers from like what wants to be like a Halo movie practically to basically a buddy cop comedy.
Yeah. I mean,
like it's like a comedy action buddy cop movie with her and Nick Fury. And it's like, whoa, this is a jarring shift. And then, okay, so the movie is a prequel in a lot of ways to most of the series.
Oh yeah, it takes place in the 90s.
Yeah, it takes place in the 90s. And
before any other Marvel Cinematic Universe. And like you were about to say, they definitely lean into that 90s.
Yeah, it's actually not before any Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Would be Captain America.
Yeah.
The first Avenger.
I mean, so far removed at least, it's not gonna like.
Yeah, keep backpedaling and saving yourself here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it takes place in the 90s. I think 95, and it does not let you forget it. Oh, there's a Blockbuster. Oh, there's a Radio Shack. Oh, Troll Dolls. Oh my God. Honestly, that kind of drove me crazy.
Oh yeah, a lot of things that they were pointing to, like, oh, I understand that reference, but I'm like, that's a lot of things you're just jamming for like fan service.
Yeah, it felt like they just didn't know how to make it work. And okay, so yeah, and then the second act, they're on Earth, buddy cop comedy with Nick Fury. And then the third act, there is a moment that I will not spoil that just kind of like changes the entire trajectory of the rest of the film.
Yeah.
Like this movie, in my opinion, is like the anti Wonder Woman, despite the fact these are two like girl power movies, because like Wonder Woman starts really strong and ends terribly.
Yeah. And this is kind of like flipped around.
Yeah. This movie does not start well. It does not put its best foot forward at all in the beginning of the film. Yeah, it drags. It's not super interesting. It picks up a little bit in Earth, but it ends crazy good. Like, yeah. I'd say the third act is the best act of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Most action, obviously.
Well, I mean, yeah. The movie holds back on its action quite a bit. I was kind of weirdly impressed by that because, like... Yeah.
I mean, with Wonder Woman, I think it was a good amount of action dispersed through, and it was like showcasing her badassery, right? And in this movie, like that probably could have been shown more. And there's a reason it's held back, which is we'll get into that later. But they probably could have done a little bit more.
But okay, so here's the thing. I did like this movie. I'm assuming you did too.
Yeah,
it's good. It's not great. Some people are like hailing this as like a masterpiece of like.
I wouldn't say that.
No, it is an enjoyable movie. I do not regret seeing it. I had a good time. The action's pretty good. The soundtrack's good. I don't think it's necessarily utilized super well.
It's kind of just like in there.
Yeah, there's like scenes where they just start playing like music that I'm like, oh, this doesn't fit at all.
Yeah.
But it is full of quite a few very good performances. Ironically, Brie Larson's is okay.
See, that's the thing is like, I don't think it's attributed to her.
No, I don't think it's her fault.
It's mostly the way the character was written and how she's probably asked to portray that character. It's like the direction, right?
Yeah.
You don't know if she's supposed to be like really quirky or if she's supposed to be stoic, because there are times where she's both. Yeah. And it kind of switches and it's really jarring.
Yeah, that is the problem. You can kind of tell, like it felt like there were two writers writing this movie that kind of just like
there were two directors,
scenes.
Though. There were two directors.
I know, but I'm just saying like that's not necessarily a director issue. That's a writer issue, because like she has completely different motivations scene to scene, even though it should be coherent. But yeah, sometimes she is like aloof and distant and like mysterious. And sometimes she's literally just like cracking jokes and making wise. And you're just like, what is, okay, I don't know who you are.
Yeah. And I think the problem also is like, she doesn't know who she is.
Yes.
But then at the same time, it's like, you would think that character traits would transition over because.
And again, she becomes a more coherent character the farther you get into the movie. All those traits kind of start blending together and it makes sense. for the narrative as well, but it is jarring. And yeah, I don't blame her because Brie Larson is a really good actress. But there are definitely parts of this movie that did not do her any favors.
I'm really excited to see how she'll stack up against next to the rest of the Avengers.
Yes, because these movies, the MCU in general, seem to work best when they can have their like beloved characters play off each other. Captain Marvel in general was great playing off of Fury. They were really enjoyable together.
By herself.
Yeah, and she was great playing off of her best friend character.
Maria?
I can't remember her character's name. I freaking remember Young Kree. Like, I can't remember the human person. But played by...
nice.
Oh, no. I know that actress's
The
name.
best friend?
Yeah.
Lashana
Lynch. Yeah, Lashana
and
Lynch.
it is Maria.
Okay, yeah. She's really good with Fury, and she's really good with her best friend, Maria, played by Lashana Lynch. But yeah, like by herself, I don't think she's given enough material to really hold the movie up because she herself is kind of an enigma at the center of this film. Right. Which doesn't do her any favors. I will say, too, a quick note about Nick Fury himself. It is remarkable how far they have come with that de-aging technology.
Oh, he looks great.
I would never... It literally looks like they took a time machine, just grabbed Samuel L. Jackson from like 20 years ago and threw him in front of the screen to act for a little bit and then just put him back where he belonged. Yeah. You would never know. In my opinion, you would never know that he is not like that young.
Yeah, it's a really... The CG in this movie is pretty good, aside from like the end when she's like zipping around. Yeah, that's just because it's like an entire CG.
That's like, just you're basically just watching an animated movie.
Yeah, at that point. But for the most part, it's pretty good because it's not her being shopped into a suit, right? She's wearing a suit.
Oh yeah, no, she definitely has that suit. And honestly, I will say the suit actually looks pretty good.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, both versions of it, like the green version and like her final version of the suit. Like I think they had, like, it's one of the first times I think I've seen like a superhero suit where it's pretty dang comic accurate, but it also looks like something somebody could actually wear while actually like fighting and kicking butt.
Yep. And if we trying to think of what we can say before we start spoilers.
I mean, I think we're at the point where also Goose, the cat, is adorable.
Right. The cat.
Okay, now you're spoiling stuff.
The Goose cat.
Because Goose is adorable. All right, let's just jump into spoilers here.
Okay, so
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, this won't be that quick. There's a lot to talk about when we can actually talk about where things are going.
But at this point, if you guys do not want to hear spoilers for Captain Marvel, you can go ahead and click off. Thank you for joining us, and I hope we can catch you like on Twitter at ZymMedia if you want to tweet us. But for those of you who want to stick around and listen to the rest of the spoilers, then we'll start that right now.
Yep. Okay, so spoilers are in effect right now. So, how about that twist?
I saw it coming.
Did you?
I mean, from the twist was talking about if we're going back into the way the acts are structured.
Yes.
First act is she has amnesia, is basically, or like her memory was messed with.
Yes.
Pretty heavily. And it's shown in the beginning that on Earth, when she's basically taken from Earth, it was a Skrull.
Which are these alien race of shapeshifters.
Right. And she is part of this, kind of Star Force.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like going through the universe, kicking ass as a Kree, right? Because she's living in the Kree Empire now. From Guardians 1, I knew the Kree were bad.
Yes. Okay, no, I never thought it was going to be a surprise that the Kree were a problem. I was 100% certain that young Kree was going to be like the ultimate villain of the movie, because it would have just been weird to waste Jude Law on that role if he wasn't. Plus, that character is a villain in the comics. But I know, right? Big twists.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the comics, you're going to know everything, right?
Not true at all. That was actually part of the biggest problem why this twist got me. So the Skrulls in the comics are not good people. They are very evil. They are determined to like spread across the galaxy, infest planets, take over. Like that's their thing. They managed to pull it off on Earth in a pretty famous event comic, Secret Invasion, where they like infiltrate all of the different superhero groups and government and all the stuff, and like secretly are like almost done taking over Earth, and nobody even noticed.
Right.
But in this film, the general twist is when she lands on Earth, she's trying to hunt down the Kree that also crashed there with her. Their leader, played by Ben Mendelsohn.
The Skrull. You said the Kree.
I did?
Yep.
Shit.
So yeah, the Skrull are the ones she's trying to track down.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, she crash lands on Earth along with a couple Skrulls. She's trying to hunt them down. Eventually, their leader, who's played by Ben Mendelsohn, very well. He was great in this movie.
Yeah.
Just confronts her and is like, hey, we need to talk.
That's like not until halfway through the movie too.
I know. It's like you spend like half the movie really like, you know, assuming they're the bad guys. Again, I had a feeling the Kree were going to be a problem too that she was going to need to deal with, but I was not expecting basically the sit-down conversation revelation that the Skrulls are essentially just refugees. They are being hunted down by the Kree because of like old disagreements and animosity, but there are like not many of them left.
Because see, I definitely not only saw the Kree as being a problem, because wasn't it like, I don't know if it was explicitly said or if it was assumed that in Guardians the Kree will take over, like they're really what's the word, like they spread throughout the galaxy too and like just take over places. Yeah And in knowing that, and then it was billed as like the Skrull go around invading places, like yes, it's probably true, but I was like, that sounds more like it's gonna be the Kree who are the ones that are taking over the Skrull right now. And since she was like, oh, I'm from a race of noble warrior heroes, right? I'm like, ooh, I'm like, no, like that. Her saying that just like flip a switch at me. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're definitely the bad guys, right?
Yeah. Again, like them, the Kree being bad isn't, I don't think, a twist. I mean, it's billed as one, but I don't think it'll ever work as one. But my comic literacy was what blinded me to these Skrulls coming out and basically being like the victims and another group of heroes in this story. But eventually, the Kree team that she was working for arrive on Earth. She now realizes she is fighting on the wrong side of this war. And that her mentor, like she gets most of her memories back, I guess. Like the movie just kind of skims over. I guess she has her memories back.
Yeah, I think it was because
she heard the black box recording and that kind of like unlocked everything.
Yeah, that's what I assumed it was. The Skrull found the black box of the plane she crashed, which
was basically like the trigger of her getting found by the Kree and all this other stuff.
Basically, they found that recording from 6 years prior.
Yeah.
Maria's character, the character of Maria, saying like, "Oh, they said that it was like lost or destroyed."
Yeah.
And the Skrull responded like, "Well, it's kind of my thing to be able to get into places where I'm not supposed to be." So they found it. She hears this recording, and it's kind of like a flashback scene of what actually happened and how it was Jude Law's character that actually abducted her, and not the Skrull. And I was assuming that in that sequence,
that's just her getting her memory back.
Yeah, it's her getting her memory back.
I mean, I had to infer that too, but it just seemed kind of weird. Like they never made a big deal about her getting her memory back. It's just like all of a sudden they're just like, she's sitting down talking to Maria's daughter, and she's just like, Lieutenant Trouble. I was like, oh, you remember? Yeah. She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks, movie. You feel like that should be a big dramatic moment.
Right. And the thing that I didn't like about the fact, like the way they played her amnesia, what goes along with the way that her character was portrayed is like she's doesn't know who really she is, like anything about her past. They're telling her to not be so emotional when she's like really not showing that much emotion.
Yeah.
But
she's occasionally cracking like a joke.
Yeah. And she's not really sure about her past, but you would think, like I said earlier, that her character traits would follow over from like your character's probably not going to change, right, as a person.
Well, I mean, some people who have amnesia would make an argument that is not true at all. You can become an entirely different person.
Right. But my point being, the way they're portraying her as like a hero, right? The fact that she did something so heroic before she had amnesia and kind of mirroring that or paralleling that with her being heroic at the end of the movie, it's kind of like you're saying she's the hero in those capacities, but at the same time, the rest of her personality is just like wishy-washy. And before and after she has her memory. Yeah,
I really couldn't define a lot of Carol Danvers' character traits.
It didn't really do that like anything for me to show that she was a hero and like, oh, she holds these values to be true. It's like, I don't really know what you're about, right?
Yeah, I think leaning into the amnesia thing to try and have the movie have mystery, you didn't give the character time to breathe.
Yeah, and that's going to this movie and just the way that character was developed is going to be a problem I see in the way that she interacts in Endgame. Because they didn't give her room, like her legs to walk around as they did with like the rest of the characters that were developed in multiple movies.
I can tell you right now it's not going to be a problem because the Russo brothers are incredibly good at taking a character and figuring out how they tick and making them work even in like an ensemble. I mean, they've done it multiple times. I mean, a lot of the times in every, like, Doctor Strange is a far better character in Infinity War than he is in Doctor Strange. He's far more likable, far more interesting. I mean, he's not as deep, but you don't need him to be.
Right. And that's what is also not going to really do her justice about Endgame is like it's a tie-in or tie-up for this phase of the cinematic universe, right? We've only seen her once in the movie. We'll see her again in this movie, but we won't be as invested in her as we are with any other character.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time too, you got to remember, like, I mean, did you see Civil War?
Yeah.
Okay, so like Black Panther.
Right.
You had never met Black Panther before Civil War. You cared about him in that movie. He was incredibly important. Like that was with no setup prior.
Right.
And that was in an ensemble film. Maybe not as big of an ensemble as Endgame, but like they took this character that you don't know, like, and he got his own individual movie after this.
Yeah.
But you know, they gave him a compelling arc. He was able to do a lot. He contributed to the narrative. I feel like it's going to be similar to Captain Marvel. I feel like she's going to be so much better in Endgame than she was in this movie because, ironically, despite her being surrounded by all these great characters that we already love, it'll actually give her, like, she's not as bound by having to hold a movie together and be the central mystery of that movie that she might just be able to be a character.
And if we see that reunion with Fury, who want to see that?
I mean, Fury's dead.
Well, for now.
Yeah. Watch they kill Captain Marvel.
I mean, at least we know Fury will live because of Homecoming.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we know a couple characters that have to live.
Yeah, we don't know if Iron Man lives.
Wait, what?
We don't know if Iron Man lives.
We don't know. Okay, here's the thing: we don't know about any of the original 6 Avengers except for Black Widow because she has a movie coming up.
Does she?
Yeah, they've announced that they're finally going to make the actual Black Widow movie, and some people are like, well, maybe it's a flashback movie. I'm like, why would they make a flashback movie for a character who's dead?
Well, what color was her hair in the trailer? In this new trailer, I think.
No, we don't have a trailer
for
Endgame.
Endgame,
it's still blonde, right? Yeah, which doesn't make any sense. Their excuse for making her blonde in that was that she was like on the run, and it was like help disguise her. Same reason Captain America grew out the beard.
Well, I mean, I guess.
But like now, you don't need to be hiding.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
nobody gives a shit anymore.
Oh, another thing. In that new Endgame trailer, Captain America is shaved, right?
Yes.
In the end credit scene, mid-credit scene actually, Captain Marvel comes to Earth, right? After hearing.
Okay, so let's like take a step back. At the end of Infinity War,
right?
Nick Fury, realizing everything's gone to shit, basically, he's given a pager by Carol to like, look, in case of like big emergency, call for me. I'll come to help.
If only big emergency, not like Avengers emergency.
Yeah, like not like the Earth's about to be destroyed multiple times over. Probably could have called for help at some point.
Only when the universe is already fucked.
Yeah, already when it's too late. Like there was like a 50% chance she also got dusted, and it was just a pointless page. But you know, that would not be compelling or good for narrative cohesion.
But she was given this pager, or he was given this pager by Captain Marvel in this movie,
which he activates before being turned to dust by Thanos' snap.
Correct.
In the mid-credit scene for Captain Marvel, are like the Avengers, the surviving Avengers, have had this pager and have been trying to keep it sending out that signal as long as possible, but finally, like, the signal just stopped, and they're like, "Well, what do we do now?" He's like, "No, hey, Captain America will like get it back." But yeah, he still has his beard, which means this takes place
2 years before the Endgame trailer, because that was 2 years after.
No, we have not been confirmed that.
Have we not?
No. There is speculation on how long it's post-snap in Endgame, but it has never been officially confirmed. It's been talked about in like conversation stuff, but no, I find it hard to believe that Captain Marvel's been running around for like 2 years.
Well, depending on no matter how long it's been, it's long enough to shave.
I feel like this scene is going to be in Endgame. I feel like it's too important of a scene to not be.
Definitely. They're not going to like jump into Endgame and be like, oh, she's already there.
Yeah. So which means it's still going to be part of the movie. I feel like he's just going to shave like not long after this, and it's not going to be like a huge deal.
I don't know.
A lot of people are making a lot about this beard, but it's not like he grew out a beard during the time between these scenes. He just shaved one. That's like a 30-minute exercise. I guarantee he has time. Half the world is gone.
I liked the beard.
I did too. My mom, though, being amazing she's like, who was that? I'm like, that's fucking Captain America, Mom. When we watched the Infinity War trailer.
He like only had a beard in one movie, right?
Yeah. All right. One last note to talk about. We kind of made mention that Captain Marvel, like, supposedly the strongest hero in the cinematic universe.
Right.
She finally pulls off the inhibitor chip, essentially, that's been put on her by the Kree.
Yep, that was just there. I mean, like, they built it to her as if it was the thing giving her the powers.
Yeah, so she never would have had reason to remove it. She
got the powers in the first place because her mentor on Earth was
Dr. Lawson.
Yeah,
actually Marvel.
Yeah, Dr. Lawson was basically her mentor in the Air Force, right?
And well, she was a scientist that was working with the Air Force.
Yeah,
developing like high tech jets and stuff.
Yes, and developing what the Kree were looking for a light speed engine.
Yeah.
With some kind of core that was like supposed to be extremely valuable, right?
Yeah, and powerful.
And the Skrull were also looking for it as a means of, we're thinking as a means of escape from the Kree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically, so you find out in the flashback when you figure out everything that's going on that Marvel, she'd realized she was on the wrong side in this war, and she was attempting to rescue a bunch of Skrull refugees and give them the lightspeed engine so that they could go to a place where the Kree would never find them.
Right, because the other twist was that Lawson was actually a Kree herself named Marvel. Yeah.
Yes.
And she was working on this core. And then once they get the core at the end of the film, when the Skrull are reunited, or some of the Skrull are reunited in Marvel's ship above Earth, the core is actually shown to be the Tesseract.
Yep, from many other Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
The reason that she gets her powers was because she was blasted with some of the energy that was taken from the core in a ship that Lawson built, basically a type of plane. And she's blasted with the energy. It absorbed into her body, and that is why the Kree took her in the first place, because she was still alive with this energy inside of her.
So it could be a powerful weapon.
Yeah, and they had told her that they had given this power to her, and she had a chip on her neck, like seemingly as like the source of it or whatever. They said that they can take it away from her, when in fact it was actually her power to begin with, and the chip was to inhibit the manifestation of these powers.
Yeah, so essentially after a little battle in her own mind, she pulls off the chip and goes Super Saiyan, essentially.
OP.
Yeah, like at this point, there is no threat left in this movie that stands any chance against her.
No.
Even the villains are like, yeah, we're just going to leave.
Yeah, fucking...
Ronan the Accuser.
Yes, because Jude Law's character, I always forget their names, but Jude Law's character calls in the Accusers.
Yes.
And
to like
Ronan,
basically glass Earth.
Back them up and be like, fucking destroy this planet. And they come in, Ronan launches some missiles to Earth, like as like a welcome, like, hey, fuck them over.
Hey, what's up?
And newly OP looking Captain Marvel flies out there and destroys the missiles, just like all of them.
Yep.
And they're like, oh fuck.
And then she goes around, she destroys like 2 of the Accuser ships.
She flies through their fucking ships and destroys them like to the core. I was like, we have never seen such fucking OP-ness which is why
you're talking about penises.
Yeah, I keep saying OP, overpoweredness.
OP-ness?
No.
That's what you said.
Yeah. But she is super strong, and this is obviously why she's shown to be the most powerful, I don't want to say Avengers because she's not an Avenger, most powerful person.
Right? Most powerful hero. Yeah. Then again, though, can she take a star to the chest? That's the question.
Like Star-Lord?
What? No, like Thor.
Right. No, it's just in the last movie.
Yes.
I don't know. I was
it
thinking
just
of,
happened.
Well, I mean, can she withhold holding an Infinity Stone? Technically, she has something.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason why people think she's going to be incredibly useful at destroying Thanos, because she's powered by an Infinity Stone, essentially.
She basically is a walking Infinity
Yes.
Stone.
It just blew your mind.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but
yeah, so the bad guys were like, yeah, fuck this, and they ran away.
Yeah, Ronan just fucking turned tail and ran away.
Yeah, she finally goes to find Jude Law, and he's like, he realizes he can't win, so he's like, oh, just like I always taught you,
1v1 me, like,
1v1 me, like,
without
bro,
any
no
powers.
power, like no items, final destination, go.
And she's like, fuck that,
and she just punches him, like,
no, she blasts him.
Well, she boots him like halfway across a plane into a mountain, basically.
Yeah, and she like runs over there. She's like, I don't have anything to prove to you.
Yep, and it's like, so I'm just gonna send you home, and you let the Kree know I'm coming for you, bitches.
Yeah, and like the movie ends with her basically helping the Skrull to colonize a planet for themselves.
Something, and then I guess taking on the Kree. I guess that's our explanation on where she's been for the last fucking 20 years, when we really could have used her.
Yeah, and a 20-year younger Ronan looks so fucking weird.
Well, it's actually the biggest difference. He doesn't have a lot of the facial tattoos.
Paint tattoo thing. Yeah. It's just like,
I guess he earns those over the next 20 years, being a horrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So generally, though, that's Captain Marvel. It's a good movie. It's fun, and it leads in. Oh, actually, there was one thing I wanted to mention before we go. It was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie.
Okay.
It's a little thing called Goose.
Oh yeah, Goose, as I was mentioning before.
Goose is it starts with an F.
Floatable.
I
don't even know.
It's
not a cat.
So Goose was Marvel's cat, or so you think.
Yeah.
It's just this cute little kitty, but actually a terrifying alien that has tentacle.
Fucked me up.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck? I was shook.
Yeah, like its mouth just opens up and has a bunch of like tentacle hand things that just like fuck people up. It swallows things. Apparently,
So disgusting.
This alien race has pocket dimensions inside of its stomach. That's how it can hold things. Yeah.
And it swallowed the Tesseract.
Yeah, it swallows the Tesseract until it hairballs it up in the end credit scene.
Yep.
On Fury's desk. It's also responsible for Fury losing his eye.
Yep, and that's the reveal that we wanted, right?
Yeah, right.
Fury loses his eye.
Just he got scratched by a not cat.
Yep, that's it.
Best reveal ever.
And then he was looking at some replacement eyes. Doesn't go with one.
Nope.
And then what did he tell Coulson? How did he tell Coulson that he got his eye scratched out?
Oh yeah, so it was like being tortured by the Kree or whatever like that for information.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
He's like, I will not confirm nor deny.
No, so generally speaking, there's a lot to like about the movie. It is fun. It's definitely a must-watch, I'd say.
You have to watch it if you're... I can't word today. You have to watch it if you are
a fan
of the MCU.
Yeah. I mean, it's another step along the journey, and it does lead pretty handily into Endgame. I feel like its biggest problem is that like it's sandwiched between two of what are probably going to be like the best MCU movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not bad at all, but it's like that episode in a TV show after a really big moment and right before the finale where you're just like, okay, it was good. Well, really, actually what it's like, there's a solid comparison here. I'm guessing you don't watch Walking Dead?
I haven't in a long time.
Okay, so there is a scene in, I think like last season, maybe the season before in Walking Dead, 2 seasons ago, where Glenn, fan favorite Glenn, is faked out and seems to be killed.
Oh, right, I saw that.
Yeah, but he actually just crawls under a dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
They spent 2 episodes like teasing, like, oh, we don't see Glenn, we don't know what happened to Glenn, and then eventually they're revealed like later. Those 2 episodes in between are actually really good.
Yep.
But no one likes them when you're watching it because you're like, well, what the fuck happened to Glenn?
Yeah.
And so all you are watching like Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel, you're like, okay, cool. What the fuck happened to Earth after half of all life died?
Exactly. But it's important to interject these because you need to introduce the character of Captain Marvel and then you need to fully flesh out what Ant-Man has been doing.
Yeah.
Right? Because Ant-Man, Jeremy Renner's character, Hawkeye, and Captain Marvel are the only people that we really haven't seen.
Yeah, they were on the bench.
Yeah, they were on the bench and now they have to come out to play.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Captain Marvel, watch it. It's fun. Don't skip it. But like, just have your expectations in check. It's a good movie. It's not a great movie.
Yeah. Don't go in expecting like amazing, but it's definitely content.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely content. That's like such a backhanded compliment. It's like, I watched content. Technically what we're making is content.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, again, kind of a rambling mess there, but thank you everybody for listening to episode 3 of the ZymCast.
I don't even know.
Episode something 4? No way. No. Are we actually airing the second episode?
Well, I label them in order of how we record it, so this is technically 4.
Okay. So what is probably going to be the 3rd aired episode of the ZymCast?
I will still label it as 4.
You're the worst.
I am, though.
Because our second episode, I think will go down in infamy as the Twilight Zone episode.
Right.
That I think Chase hopes will never air.
Yeah, no, don't know that.
It probably will.
No, don't.
Do it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Thanks.
like a blooper reel.
Something.
No. Thank you for listening, though. If you want to...
Are you like trying to pitch like a Patreon or something?
What's wrong, Chase?
If you want to get into contact with us at all, if you have any things you want us to talk about, you can go ahead and shoot us a tweet at ZymMedia, and hopefully we will be able to hear from you.
Yeah. So I'm Kyle Grubb.
I'm Chase Matherly.
And I'm Cheyenne.
With no last name.
Nope.
All right. Thank you, guys. See you next time.
Yep.